What's up, guys? Hang on. I'm going to try and make this balance. Yeah. What's up, guys? I thought I would go live real quick. I am heading to Chicago tomorrow morning, so I had to do this tonight. About to go to bed, but I wanted to make a quick video for anybody who hasn't done Oceanside before and wanted to share like my thoughts just from doing it one time a year ago. So I've got my rose-colored glasses on, and last year before Oceanside, Coach Skip Slade, I think is his name, Coach Skip had a session at his home, and he invited people over and he talked through the whole Oceanside course, and it was so amazing. It like helped me mentally prepare for that race so much, so I thought I would try and pay it forward. I don't know if he's doing it again this year. If you are not friends with him on Facebook, go find him, see if he's doing it again. But it was hugely helpful and gave me so many tips and just helped me feel ready. So my number one tip is to read the athlete guide. I am such a like paper person, so I print the whole thing out and love actually physically like going through these things. Especially last year for Oceanside, since it was my first half Ironman. But I just want to kind of go through some of the tips that he gave us last year, some of the previous stuff he told us last year, and just some thoughts I had about the race itself, so it could help you or help somebody else if you are nervous about the race at all. So, and if you have any thoughts or questions, like I am live right now, so feel free to ask them or add them. And I know Cherie was there with me last year, so she might remember some things that I don't remember too. So basically, Oceanside is, I think, an amazing half Ironman. I'm super experienced, having done, 2 in my entire life. So just based on that, it was such a great first race, I think, just because on the run, first of all, it's close to home for me, so you don't have to like travel far. But on the run, it's just so nice because it's so spectator friendly, and you have like all of the city comes out, all the tourists are probably like, what happened to my vacation? But they're all outside cheering. You've got all your tri-club friends. There's all these tri-club tents along the grass. Last year, Phil Am was like bumping music. So when you're running and you're exhausted and you just want to cross that finish line, like you've got all these people cheering for you. It makes it so much better. And so we'll start with before the race. The Expo is Thursday and Friday. Last year, since it was my first half Iron, I was super nervous. I went up both days, so I took off both Thursday and Friday. Drove up Thursday, checked in, got my wristband, got my bib, all the stickers and the bags and everything. And then Friday, and then I went home. I think I did the course talk on Thursday, and it was freezing cold outside, but listened to the course talk, and that was really helpful for me too, because I had no idea what the course was like and I was really nervous, so that helped like calm me down a little bit. And then Friday just did like bike check-in, but so much shopping happened over those 2 days. There are some great deals. I got my awesome, I wish I could show you, it's like full packed right now, my awesome huge Zoot bag for, I don't even remember how much it was, so cheap. It's got some cute tri-shorts, like so many good deals. So bring your wallet if you are into shopping. Of course, Ironman tent has tons of Oceanside themed stuff, and if you have never done one before, they put all the names on the back if you sign up early enough, so get a shirt with your name on it. Yeah, lots of good stuff, lots of good sales and deals, and Oceanside has a really legit expo, so make some time to go there if you're into shopping. So yeah, the check-in is by the pier, so it's kind of by where the finish line is going to be for the race. There's like a few parking lots. There's a huge parking lot there in the middle, so it's like kind of downtown Oceanside, I guess, I don't know, but it's huge. There's lots of parking, but it's paid parking. If you park in the lots, it's like one of those big meter things, but if you park on the streets, bring quarters. But if you go a little bit further north, like on, I think it's called like Surfline or Spearfisher or, some other sea-themed names, those streets just a few blocks away have no meters, all free parking, street parking. So just pay attention to signs. But yeah, that's a good spot to park at. That's where last year we would always park there when we'd go do training rides up there. So yeah, free street parking or just pay for the lot, and for a couple hours it's nice and easy. Where you have to check in your bike, and you have to check in your bike in advance. You can't do it race morning. Surf Rider, yes, thank you, Steve. So where you check in your bike is all the way over by the harbor, so it's a hike. You can walk there, but it's a long walk, and if you're racing, you might want to save your legs. I don't know. So I recommend driving over there, but you can't just like pull up and drop your bike off. So it's not the easiest logistical thing to figure out how to do. But again, Surf Rider's kind of like in the middle, so you can do you know, the check-in and the bike check-in. My plan is going to be to try to go on Friday this year and park on like, well, I'll go park down by the check-in first, hang out at the expo, do all my shopping because, you know, oh yeah, it's a good tip, Sheree, call your credit card company and let them know you're coming, because the Ironman tent, the Ironman, when they swipe your card, it's like based out of Florida or something. And so a lot of card companies, including Chase and Alliant Credit Union, the two cards I have, they both have fraud rules in place that are like, you're supposed to be in California and you're buying something from Florida. That seems like fraud. I'm not going to let your charge go through. And then some people have to write you checks like you mean to pay for your stuff. So anyways, put your like out of town or whatever travel warning on your cards if you want to shop there, because it might not go through. And then it's super awkward standing there waiting for like the message to come from your credit card company saying, is this really you? So anyways, just let them know in advance if you're going to be buying stuff at the Ironman store and spending lots and lots of money like I do. So I'll probably park down by there, do all my shopping, check in. I might be volunteering at the base tent on Friday. I will know hopefully close to then, so stop by and say hi. Base has the cutest tank tops, so get some of those and some cute t-shirts. And their salts are thebomb.com. And then I'm going to go drive and park down by the harbor, by the World Mark. So on the street there, that parking lot's going to be only available for people who have parking permits to park there. So I'm going to park on the street there and then check my bike in and then head back because our hotel is closer to the finish line. So head back over that way. So either walk or Uber or whatever back to there. And then eat food on Friday night. But that way my car will be by transition. So that way after the race on Saturday, when I'm done and I'm tired, I could just get my bike out of transition and bring it so it'll be nice and close to my car. And hopefully y'all don't take up all my parking spots because now I told y'all where I'm parking. So that's just my plan. We'll see if it works out, if there's even space available there. Otherwise, I might just park like over by Surfrider because it is kind of in the middle. At least it's not that far. But the thought of picking up my bicycle from transition and then walking all the way back, because you can't, after the race, take your bike on the shuttle. So they have shuttles going back and forth between the finish line and transition. So you don't have to walk all the way back, but it's like, once you get your bike, how do you get back? You can ride your bike back, but then you've got your big transition bag, a heavy wet wetsuit that's been sitting out in the sun all day. You're tired. You rode 56 miles and ran 13 miles. Like, it's just riding my bike just sounds terrible at that point. So getting it all back. If you got a Sherpa, that is a good job for your Sherpa. Make sure you give them, when you check in, you'll get a little card you can give them, and they can pick up your bike for you, and they can pick up all your stuff for you. Just make sure you have your name on your wetsuit. No matter what, put your name on the inside of your wetsuit so they know which wetsuit is yours to pick up for you. So that is the expo and the check-in and all that fun stuff. So yeah, all sorts of fun things on Friday. Try to sleep Friday night. Last year, I think Sheree got about 20 minutes of sleep. I think I got maybe an hour or two. It was not easy for me to fall asleep, but then for like Santa Cruz, I think I got a decent amount of sleep. So maybe just because it was my first one, hopefully this year I'll get a great night's sleep. It'll be great. My race night tradition is to have a beer before all my races I do. So that way it helps me sleep a little bit better in theory. So that is the basics of that. Then Saturday, wake up. I think transition opens at like 4:45 in the morning. It's like really early. Yeah, 4:45 in the morning. Body marking and gear checking starts in transition. It is very cold and it's very dark. It will be cold race morning. Even if it's going to be a hot day, it'll be still freezing cold in the morning. The water will be freezing cold. So the water will be warmer than the air probably though, so that's exciting. Yeah, go early to transition, get your stuff all set up. Yeah, it's pretty standard transition stuff. I feel like nothing remarkable about transition. Last year it was awesome seeing like Jen Potter and Chaito like doing body marking and saying hi to us, volunteering in the morning. And yeah, so transition set up normal, just chilly and dark. And transition closes at 6:30, I think. So you gotta be out of transition by 6:30. Just make sure you get there in enough time to like set everything up, put on your wetsuit, get ready. Then the race starts at 6:50. They're rolling, so it's a rolling start. So we'll all huddle on the beach. And this year it's kind of cool since we're not doing it in the harbor where you're like kind of separate from the spectators. You can like hang out with your spectators until you go into the ocean, which is pretty sweet. So you start on the beach and then run into the ocean. There will be no waves. A bunch of us are starting together as like team fun, you know, not racing through waves kind of start. We're gonna wade into the water and get past the break together. And then Yumi can go swim away from us because she's super, super fast. So we'll go in, do the ocean thing, then you get out of the ocean and you come up a ramp. And so sometimes going from, you know, horizontal to standing is hard, so take your time getting out of the water. There's tons of amazing volunteers helping you out of the water. And then you'll go to transition, which is right there. It's very, you know, close to where you get out of the water. And you'll see it all when you check in your bike. It's like right there. You'll see where the Oceanside is, you'll see where the harbor is, and you're like, oh, that's really short. I could totally do that. Get out of there. One tip that I learned at our pre-Oceanside race last year was use tube socks. So I buy a ton of like cheap, just whatever, Hanes tube socks at Target or Walmart or Amazon or whatever. And then you just cut off the toes, so measure your arm, and then cut off the toes. And it's so much easier to pull on as like an arm warmer than like real arm warmers that are super tight. So when you're like wet and in a hurry and in transition, you don't want to put on really tight arm warmers. And also you're probably gonna want to take them off pretty quick into the bike. Yeah, dollar store is a good spot for that too. So you just put tube socks on your arms. It's really cool to look at in pictures when you have tube socks on your arms. And yeah, then you could just throw them off when you get to the first aid station. It's so nice, like, to have that warmth when it's freezing cold first thing in the morning. You get out of that 58-degree balmy water into the 55-degree air, and then go 20 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour, whatever on your bicycle. Yeah, awesome. So stay warm, do whatever you gotta do. I last year bought these hot hands warmers too, so they're the kind that you like shake and put on. I did not use them during the race because I used them during Super Seal and it got a little too hot, but this year for some of those early morning, like 6:30 a.m. starts, I used them. I would put one in my sports bra, I put them in my hands, I would like move it around as I was riding just to warm up. So if that's something that you've tried before, I would try it before Saturday. If it's new to you, definitely give it a shot though. It's just an idea to help keep you warm because it is gonna be cold on Saturday morning. And then the bike, once you get out of transition, very quickly there is a steep incline. So make sure you are in easy gear as you're coming down that street out of transition before you go up that incline. And then that incline is just this beautiful little baby incline. And then there's not much else. Let me look through this little like race guide, make sure I'm not forgetting things. I've got my handy athlete guide. Oh, the morning clothes bag. Yeah, I put morning clothes in my morning clothes bag so that way when you get to the finish line, since it is so far from transition, I throw like clean shorts, t-shirt, whatever. And then last year I just went into the Ironman store, into the fitting rooms and changed there. So they let me change in there. Just because I hate being in my sweaty wet clothes while I'm eating my post-race food and taking lots of pictures and celebrating. So totally up to you if you want to do the morning clothes bag thing. Race day stuff, yeah, no parking. You can't like drop people off at transition, supposedly. I know people have done it, but they say you can't. Bike course is that steep incline at the beginning, then pretty darn flat, like little baby hills going through the beginning of the bike course. But I wish I could like do Facebook Lives with like slides or sharing screens. That first hill, that first one over there, that little guy, it looks so innocent, but that's like a steep uphill. So that is at like mile 30-ish, or a little bit before, between mile 26 and 31 on this little map. So your legs are like kind of tired, but you're pretty pumped because you're like halfway through, and then you have this hill. So you go in down Cristiano. So during the bike course, you go like north, then you go in and out. There's one like out and back on by the Las Pulgas gate. Anyways, you'll see it. It's easy. You get to wave to all your friends. And then you go north, 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 and then the Cristianos you cut in, and then you get to the part where you go on base, which you can't ride on as just a civilian on a normal day. So you go through the gate, and there's a little uphill actually right when you get on base. So just remember that when you're going down Cristianos. It's a little rolly there actually. And then on base, and then you turn and you see the big hill, the super big hill. And it's steep, and you see the bikes climbing up it. And that's the hardest part about that hill, I think, is psyching yourself up when you see everybody climbing up that hill. And that's what I learned at the thing last year, and it was 100% true. You turn and you see it, and it's just intimidating because hills look scary. Like even when I'm going up Mount Soledad, there's that hill towards the end by the deli thing, and every time I see it, I'm like, oh my God, my legs are so tired. I'm almost at the top, but I can't make it up this one more hill. And then I get to the hill, and I'm like, okay, well, like I did it. Of course I did it. But it just always seems so intimidating when you look at it. So just know you could do it. It's gonna be fine. There are people who walk up it. It's totally okay. Just get up it. You'll be fine. And then once you're up that hill, you're fine. Then there's another decent hill, and then another decent hill, and then the fourth hill is there's 4 hills in a row, and the fourth one is not that big at all. And then there's this steep downhill. So just make sure you go slowly down that downhill. The limit is 25 miles an hour. Pay attention. If you go over 25 miles an hour, you will get disqualified from the race. So how bad would that be is if you finish the whole race and then you find out you're disqualified because you went 26 miles an hour down a hill. It's so dumb, not worth it. Just pay attention when you're going downhill. There's tons of signs that say slow down, 25 mile per hour speed limit, pay attention. You'll know when you get there. It's very obvious. And then there's a timing mat at the top and a timing mat at the bottom. And so then they'll, figure out how long it took you to get down the hill, and then they'll know if you went over 25 miles an hour. So don't do it. Even if you don't see a race official, it's timed. And then I actually had no idea what you do if you get one of those penalty cards during races. So I asked Ian the other night, because he's one of the refs. So if you get a penalty card during a race for drafting or littering or just doing something illegal, there's penalty tents, and you just stop at the penalty tent. And if you get the 30-second penalty, they just write your number down, and then you keep going on your merry way. If you get a 5-minute penalty, they write your number down, and you sit there for 5 minutes, and then you go on your merry way. And then there's one in the middle of the course, I think he said, and one at the end. So hopefully you don't get any penalties. I sure don't want a penalty. But I guess the refs write down the numbers of everybody they give penalties to, and then if you didn't stop at the tent, then you'll get DNF'd as well. Super exciting. So, little technicalities there. And different than most triathlons, for this one, you have to wear your bib on the bike ride. So make sure you wear your bib on the bike ride, because when you're going through Camp Pendleton, you have to wear your bib. So the volunteers will all be screaming and cheering, reminding you of that before you leave transition with your bike. They probably won't even let you out of transition without your bib. But don't forget, just instead of putting your bib on for the run, make sure you put it on for the bike as well. And then for the bike, after the swim, or outside transition, I guess it could be after the swim or after the bike. But this was very handy for me after the swim last year. Before I started the bike, there's porta potties right outside transition as you're exiting, right there. And it's nice and early in the morning still, so they're not super gross yet. Just hand your bike to a volunteer. That's what they're there for. And you can go to the bathroom real quick, because I cannot pee, and nor do I want to pee on my bicycle. And it's easier than stopping in the middle of the bike ride to go to the bathroom. And unless you go to the bathroom during the swim, which hopefully one day I will master. But I have not mastered it yet. So that is it for the bike ride. And then the run course. And so then you run, and the most brutal part of the run is after you finish the first loop, you have to run past the finish line and do another loop. So here's transition, here's the finish line. You run back and then finish. So there's a uphill that you have to do during the run. I walked up the ramp last year. It's just how my legs work. I do not run up hills usually, unless I have a really compelling reason to. So during that, I just kind of did not run up those steep hills. I just walk them. I'm going to do my 3-1 walk-run thing, or run-walk thing this year. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, the run is just so amazing. I feel like once you get to T2, the race is kind of just, you're just celebrating. The run is like a celebration. You're just excited and finishing, and everybody's cheering, and it's so much fun. And it's beautiful. You're along the ocean, you're in Oceanside. I mean, it's just a gorgeous run. So much support and love. You're gonna love it. So, and then you finish, and it's awesome. And then there's finisher food and celebrations, and all your friends are there. And yeah, we'll celebrate Team Fun Style. And then you have to go all the way back from the finish line to transition, get your bike. There's a shuttle, and I honestly could not tell you why we did not take that shuttle last year back to get our bikes, but we walked all the way back. But luckily my car was parked over there, so that was nice and easy. But yeah, it was kind of weird that we did not use that shuttle and walked all the way back there with our tired legs. I don't know. Maybe we wanted some extra exercise. I don't know. And I think that is all the tips that I have. There's one more thing that popped into my head and I totally forgot about it. Oh, parking. When you check in at the Expo on Thursday or Friday, if you're gonna park in one of the lots, if you're not like staying at one of the hotels there, they'll give you a parking pass. So just tell them you need a parking pass, or if like one of your family members is parking, get a parking pass to park in one of the lots. And I think that you don't have to pay for the meters on Oceanside. I read something in here, and y'all read, like I said, read the athlete guide. There's something in here I think that said parking is free in Oceanside on Sunday. Like they're not going to charge for the meters there. I could be totally making that up though. Oh, fees will be waived on race day. Parking lots are color-coded. Parking passes will be handed out for those needing them. They're first come, first serve, so when you check in at the Expo, make sure you grab one if you need it. But if you don't get a parking pass, you cannot park on the parking pass. There will be no charge for meters on race day, but don't park west of Cleveland Avenue. So, yeah. But again, it's all in your athlete guide. So tons of information in here. Read it, highlight it. I mean, that's weird. Who would do that? Yeah, I'm a total geek and I love my highlighters. So, yeah, it's an awesome race. Just pay attention, be mindful of the cutoff times. You'll make them all. Like, it's gonna be just a really fun, awesome day. And if you have questions, I can help answer anything that I know. Again, I've done this race one time, so my knowledge is super limited. But I know there's other veterans in this group that have done it more than that, and I'm sure somebody can help you if you have questions or concerns or just want to share any tips that you have. Feel free to share them. So yeah, that is all I have for you tonight, you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see you all on Friday or maybe Thursday at Bo's. Bye, guys.